Coast LQ Reviews. Today I got a Highland single malt scotch. This is the Dalmore 12 year. So on the front it says aged 12 years. Highland single malt scotch whiskey. This is 40% alcohol by volume or 80 proof. I'm just going to read some information off the back. It says 1263. The Dalmore's heritage dates back to 1263 when an ancestor of the clan Mackenzie, owners of the Dalmore distillery for over a century, saved King Alexander III from the fury of the charging stag. In recognition of this noble act, the grateful king granted the clan Mackenzie the right to use a 12-point stag representing a royal in their coat of arms. It says, this striking icon has since adorned each bottle of the Dalmore, symbolizing the Dalmore distillery's regal legacy. It says the art of the Dalmore. So it says the Dalmore is crafted using a 150-year-old artisan process passed down through the generations. 8 hand-beaten copper stills of variable shape and size deliver a full flavor and complex new spirit, which is then enriched over the years in the finest American white oak, ex-bourbon cask, and hand-selected Oloroso sherry butts. Master distiller Richard Patterson then makes his final selection, harmonizing the spirit of the chosen cask in bespoke sherry butts until he decides that the precious contents are ready for bottling. It says tasting notes. Matured for an initial 9 years in American white oak ex-bourbon cask, but before being carefully divided, one half continues its maturation in bourbon barrels, the other half is transferred to 30-year-old, I believe it's Methuselah Oloroso sherry cask, complex yet balanced. The Dalmore 12 years, the epitome of the Dalmore house style. So yeah, it's kind of a lot of information on the back of this. It says aroma, citrus fruits, chocolate, and aromatic spices. Palate is concentrated citrus, Oloroso sherry, and hints of vanilla pod. Finish is roasted coffee and chocolate. Okay, so enough of talking about it. Let's pour it into our glass here. I got a Glencairn's, I've got a regular Jack Daniel's glass. And you can give yourself a pour. So I got some notes. I actually drank a decent amount of this, so I was able to write down some notes. And the color is a mahogany or like reddish orange. I don't know if you guys can see that. So you can see it's definitely a nice dark scotch, a lot darker than your average scotch. And if you actually hold up to light, it does have a nice orange tint to it. In the lighting that we're in right now, it looks a little darker than it actually is. But it says nose, citrus fruits, chocolate, and aromatic spices. So on the nose, picking up a lot of.
You would definitely pick up the spice on it.
I was gonna say, I found one guy said, I was watching videos on this. One guy said it reminds him of Christmas fruit cake.
A little bit.
Because it has like orange, like candy kind of smell to it. So I wrote down for nose, I wrote orange, lemon, a little bit of malt, actually a lot of malt, I should say. Some cereal, honey sweetness, vanilla cream, dark chocolate, some cinnamon spices, like I said, Christmas fruit cake, and just a little bit of oak you get. But yeah, overall, it's definitely got a good nose on it. Definitely, mostly on the nose, you're gonna get kind of those candied fruits, and like Zach said, you're gonna get a lot of those spices, like the cinnamon spices. But enough of the nose. Let's go for the taste. So, first thing I like to say for 40% mouthfeel is definitely like medium. It's got some good flavor for 40%. I've seen some people saying that it tastes a little watered down to them, but to me, I think it's got good flavor for what it is. Turn the cap back on. But yeah, on the taste, I get citrus, oranges, so like lemon goes with citrus, of course. So picking up a lot of light fruits, definitely picking up a lot of that like sweet sherry that you get from the Oloroso sherry cask. Definitely like a vanilla cream almost, and definitely picking up malt on the taste as well. So some dried fruits, So I'm getting a little bit of like raisins and plums as well. And it's actually kind of slightly dry. There's a little bit of like a dry finish to it.
Yeah, but it also has like that. It definitely has the chocolate. Like
Yeah, so
at the end.
that's what I was getting to because I have that for the finish. But also on the taste, I'm getting those candied orange fruits once again, and picking up definitely some wood. Because this is aged for 9 years in the bourbon, and then an initial 3 years in the, well, I shouldn't say bourbon, I should say American white oak. So it's 9 years in the white oak cask, and then they take half of it and put it for another 3 years in the oak, the white oak cask. It actually says white oak ex-bourbon cask, so it is bourbon cask. But yeah, and then they take the other half and they put that in the sherry cask for 3 years. So you definitely get a lot of oak and wood on the taste from those bourbon casks. And the finish, with the finish, like this is very complex. You're not gonna get one single flavor from this. You can drink this several times, and each time you drink it, you might pick up different flavors. But with the finish, so I get on the finish, just the finish, I get like a bitter chocolate, and then it forms to like kind of that like cinnamon spice. And along with that bitter chocolate, I kind of get like a bitter coffee. The vanilla lingers around a little bit. And also I'm getting some almonds, and those candied oranges definitely stick around as well.
But yeah, I'm getting kind of like a sweet, not really like a dry chocolate, more of like a sweet chocolate.
Oh yeah, well that could be a mixture of the sweetness from the sherry and the chocolate. So maybe it's coming across as more like a milk chocolate to you.
Yeah.
But price on this, pretty decently priced. I believe this is the Dalmore's entry-level Scotch. So this is going to cost you, average price is like $56 for a 750, which in my opinion is definitely a great price. Like I said, just looking at the color of this, you could totally tell that they did some work with this this single malt Scotch, and they definitely took their time and they perfected it as much as possible. So for that being said, I'm going to give it a rating of 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, I do recommend it. If you're somebody who's just getting into Scotch, this is a great one to check out because there's no peat, there's no like smoky or kind of like floral aspect to it, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, basically this can be summed up as like orange candied fruits and a nice cinnamon spice. But yeah, if you're somebody who likes more of like the fruitier whiskeys, this is definitely a great one to check out. If you're a bourbon fan, I advise checking this one out as well because you'll probably like the sweetness in it. But what do you want to give it for a rating, Zach?
I'd probably give it about an 8.
You give it 8.
Yeah, I like it, and I would definitely refer it.
Is this the first single malt Scotch you've had?
I think it's the second.
Oh yeah. Why, have you tried any other ones?
Maybe. I don't think so. Probably not. So it's probably my first, yes. And I actually like it.
What do you think about it? Do you think you'll ever buy yourself a single malt Scotch? You think you'll ever drop the money on one yourself?
Yeah. I don't see why not.
It's just
Something nice to have around.
It's not extremely expensive, but it's not completely affordable. If you're somebody who buys Scotch a lot and you got the money to afford it, then yeah, it's a good price. But for somebody who buys like $20, $30 bottles, this could get a little expensive if this is something that you want to pick up like often. You know what I mean? So $56, say you get this 3 times or 4 times, adds up. You know what I mean? You can probably get like 12 other bottles for the same price as one of these. But it's totally worth it in my opinion. So for the price on it, I think it's actually reasonably priced at $56 because you are getting quality. And nowadays, basically, you're paying for quality, especially with something like this. But yeah, there you have it. If there's any liquor beers you guys like to see on my channel or single malt scotches, definitely leave a comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for my upcoming videos on liquor and beer. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Cheers.